Om Lokaha Samastaha Sukhi no Bhavantu. May all beings be happy and peaceful. May all investors be prosperous. Phoenix here. Welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. They say that the more neatly you fit into society's mold, the less free you actually are. And I hold that to be true myself. I'm going to be honest with you. Being involved with cryptocurrency the last several years has been absolutely grueling at times.
Exit the window! Here we go.
Make a U-turn, if possible.
There have been mind-blowing losses that I have suffered. I have pulled my hair out watching the price of Bitcoin range for 3 months at a time, and some of you probably know what I mean here. I've witnessed many black swan events and the aftermath and all of the carnage on crypto Twitter. And I have questioned the reasons for being involved with this many a time. And yet I've managed to stick around because I realized that there are a few important rules that if you follow them, you can outsmart even the smartest money out there. And it can help you to escape the matrix, the agents that are in control, so to speak. So in today's video, I'm going to share what I learned. I'm going to summarize it as best I can, and I'm also going to give you some actionable steps that you can take to head in the same direction if you so choose. This video is sponsored by Skillshare. Truth be told, I've actually never even bothered with the 9-to-5 grind because from a very young age, I realized the absolute futility of trading your time for money. And for me personally, it started with a job at McDonald's at 15 years old. I was getting paid $5.15 an hour, which was the minimum wage at the time. And I realized that I was either going to become my own boss one day, or I was going to work for other people who would dictate the circumstances of my life. They would dictate my destiny. And I was not about to allow this. And I also realized that knowledge truly is power when it is applied in an appropriate way. And so there are loopholes, there are back doors, and there are several people on the planet, groups of people, it is a small minority of people who don't have to play by any of the rules. But what's really important to understand is that these people earned that right. They found a way to outsmart the smartest individuals on the planet, and they became smart money. Something else that really resonates with me is the idea that if you do what everyone else does, then you will get what everyone else gets. Most people are debt slaves. They're slaves to jobs that they hate, and they're finding various ways to distract themselves, whether it's partying on the weekends or binge watching Netflix, going out to the club, having the loud music and the blaring lights. All of this is a cleverly designed distraction to keep the sheep satiated. And until the sheep who are in this perpetual state of confusion are able to awaken and to realize what is really important to them, they're not going to discover the path toward success. Something else that I realized very early on as a stock trader is that every market is a platform that is cleverly designed for the shrewd to slowly, steadily extract money from the ignorant. Those without even a basic understanding of crowd psychology, or if they do understand, they're not able to see the various fluctuations in people's emotions and how these play out in a market cycle.
I'm in a glass case of emotion!
And they're not able to use this to their advantage. Now, if you were studying to be a doctor, you would spend a minimum of 8 years, at least in my country, studying various courses intensively. You would have various apprenticeships or mentorships where you're studying under other doctors who already know the profession. You wouldn't just go blindly into a surgery. But unfortunately, many traders and investors do just that. They don't bother to acquire the skills before they start trading, and they immediately start losing money. So it isn't difficult to see how most people lose money, whether it's trading cryptocurrency or stocks or commodities or any other security, because smart money knows exactly how to manipulate the plebs' emotions. It is a perpetual game of cat and mouse. And since the mouse is very short term in his memory, he forgets very readily, the cycles repeat in the exact same fashion over and over again. It is a rinse and repeat. And this extraction of capital continues and the rich keep getting richer. But if you simply learn their methods and you understand a few basic principles, which I'm going to share with you, then you can start to change that. I'm also going to share some actionable steps that you can take. But first, a word from my sponsor. Since I know that knowledge equals money as a trader, I am constantly expanding my knowledge with online courses. This is why I use Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of classes and members in 150 different countries. Their appeal to me as a trader is the fact that their courses go much more in depth than what you will typically find on YouTube. A simple search for day trading, for instance, will reveal a variety of perspectives on the topic. One such example is a course called Introduction to Market Profile Trading by derivatives trader Deanna Angelo. She breaks down some really important ideas in an accessible way and reveals strategies that can be directly applied to crypto. I like that the courses are ad-free with dozens of premium classes added weekly. Invest in yourself this holiday season. Take advantage of Skillshare's best deal of the year. For a limited time only, use my link in the description to get 50% off a Skillshare subscription. This is literally the best time to be refining your skills. The bear market is when we really learn as much as possible so that we can apply it when the bull market comes around and be able to maximize our profits. So now let's get back into the video. Now, I want to show you this chart for Shiba Inu. This is a well-known meme coin that has been effectively pumped and dumped many different times. And you can see what happened in the bull run, these green candles, this up forever mentality, and eventually came all the way back down to near where it started and will most likely fall even further from here. This is what I call an oscillator. This is big wave surfing. This is irrationality. And this is coming back to one's senses and realizing the futility of it all. And unfortunately, many people don't see the emotions in this chart, but you can see right here an overzeal and over enthusiasm just based on looking at the size of this one single weekly candle, okay? Not one, but four in a row here, where it drove the price up significantly. We can see that just in this candle here, the price went up 200%. That's a 3x. And in these 4 weeks, it went up 933%. Many people are drawn into this because they want the quick money. They want the quick fix. They don't have the patience. And then what happens as the balloon deflates, it does so slowly but surely. And they slowly, steadily give all their money back to the market makers who got in somewhere down here and then pumped it just enough to get retail involved. This leads me to a very important point. Lesser minds, those who lack self-control, those who lack discipline, tend to do what everyone else does. They tend to follow the crowd. And this is a perfect example of following the crowd. Here is a prime example of where you see a pump like this and you see that it looks very unsustainable. And yet everyone is jumping on board. Your mother, your father, your dog, they're all investing in Shiba Inu at this point, okay? And maybe they ride it up for a while, but then the greed takes over and they think, I've already done a 2x, maybe it can do a 10x from here. And I really want to save up that much more money. And they hold on and they have no idea when to sell. And so they never do. And then they start to believe this concept of this hodler idea. And they believe that if you just hodl, that eventually, even if it does come back down, even if it comes lower than it did when you invested, that eventually it will come all the way back up again and go even higher. But this is a pure fallacy. We have no idea what Shiba Inu will do in the future. And furthermore, we don't know if or when it will come back to this level here. It could take months, it could take years, and again, it may never happen. So throughout my process of observing this phenomena, and it repeats many times in every cycle, I realized early on in my crypto career that I needed to do something differently. So instead of jumping into the next hyped up meme coin, what I did was I read books, I studied courses, I put thousands of dollars into my knowledge, because I wasn't just somebody that was a weekend trader throwing $20 into Shiba Inu. I was dealing with much, much larger sums of money. So there was a lot more at stake. But even for those who are maybe starting smaller and want to get big, for me, my advice, and this is not financial advice, but it's personal life advice, is that to treat it as if you're already in that place, whatsoever you want to be it from the very beginning. And that way, if you're acting like I'm working with tens of millions of dollars with my trades, then you will take it more seriously. And so having various levels of accountability and learning risk management, and these are all little nuances to trading and investing that, again, most people just don't bother with. And so I started taking courses. I started actually reading and writing books. I wrote a book, which is very affordable right now during this bear market. I created courses of my own. And to this day, I will still pay hundreds, thousands of dollars for courses that I find where I feel like maybe I could learn something from this trader, something that I can add to my repertoire that will help me to refine my skills, that will help me to really hone in on my strategies. So take it seriously if you're serious about it. If you've watched this far into the video, you likely are. Treat it like it's a profession, not a hobby. That's the distinction. So when we start out, if you just have $20 and you're just casual about it, then go have fun in the casino and throw it into something like Shiba Inu. But if you want to grow that $20 or $200 into $2,000 or $20,000, then you're going to need to learn the fundamentals of investing and trading. And this is a lifelong process. It's not something that where you can say, okay, now I get it, I'm the master, and if that's that, now I can just trade and all of my trades will be profitable. And I think that a lot of people fall off this path or don't even bother to try it because they think that it's too difficult, it's too random, that technical analysis doesn't work. But it does, because of the fact that there is collective consensus around how the price should move. And smart money is behind the scenes gently steering people's ideas and gently steering the price to move in the direction that they want it to. But you have to be paying attention to the subtleties, and you won't be able to see the subtleties if you get caught up in the emotions. And so this is where I realized, for me, the turning point as a trader, when I decided I was going to become a full-time trader. And by that, I don't mean that I sit and stare at charts all day, some days more than others, maybe a few hours a day. I realized that most traders, they don't have control over their minds, even though they think they realize the value of being able to control their emotions. They're not taking the actual steps in that direction. A lot of them have bad habits. They drink, they smoke, they have various ways to decompress because dealing with money is extremely stressful, but they didn't bother to develop mentally outside of maybe developing their knowledge. And so as I was developing my knowledge as a trader through books and courses, I was also continuing my meditation practice. So I felt like here I have the upper hand as someone who has been meditating for over 15 years, on average 1 to 2 hours a day throughout that entire period. So I've meditated for over 10,000 hours. I lived in India for a time. I studied with some great masters, and that was a priority for me before I even got involved in any of this. Of course, I didn't know I was going to, but it was a priority because I knew that the mind is the foundation. And you need to be able to have a certain level of resilience to where you're unaffected by whatever's happening in the news, whatever's happening with SBF or Luna or any of the other, crazy black swan events, and just look at the charts objectively and be able to take your losses in stride and to be able to understand that at the end of the day, this is really just one big game, and it's a dream. And we are recognizing that here is a way for us to rewrite the rules of our dream to earn the right to not play by the rules of the powers that be able to go where you want and when you want. And so that expansive mindset is even more important than taking the courses and reading the books. That is the foundation upon which everything else is built. So without that, then when somebody says, TA is worthless, when there's all of the negativity during the bear market and everyone is thinking that crypto is dead again, Bitcoin is declared dead for the 700th time, then when that happens, you'll just shrug it off because you'll see the bigger picture, and you'll see that what's most important here is that I find ways to slowly, steadily extract money from lesser minds who haven't bothered to meditate today, who haven't bothered to read that book. They haven't bothered to study at the level that I have. If you want to be the best at something, if you want to be Mr. Universe, like Schwarzenegger, he was working out 5 to 6 hours a day. He was studying in school. He was studying to be an actor. He was spending all of his day working. He was fully committed. So it's making the commitment to becoming a trader or investor. And the beautiful aspect of this is that even if you're not sure whether you want to become a trader, you can learn so much about investing just by studying trading, to where you could make that one investment and get in on something like Shiba Inu when it is at rock bottom, when it is at the best possible price, and sit on that for many years potentially while it rises back up again. Now, personally, I'm not going to be investing in Shiba Inu in this bear market, but that's just one example of what you can do with this knowledge. This is something that can serve you for the rest of your life. Now, for me, I'm not one to plug myself, but I'm going to do it here more and more because I realize that the courses that I'm offering at the price that I'm offering is an incredible opportunity. And I'm doing this because we're in a bear market, and I'm doing this for you because it can help you. It's $36 for about maybe 60, 70 hours of videos that are way more in depth than YouTube. It's a tenth of the price of a course that I just bought just 3 days ago because I'm studying about market profile. It's something that I want to know more about. And the course is about a quarter of the content that I'm offering. So my job here is to offer as much value as possible because it makes me feel good inside. And so if that's something that feels really good for you, then you should explore that. Check out my website. So if you begin to absorb this information from a variety of sources, whether it's books or YouTube or social media, and you consistently apply yourself in the direction with the intention of becoming an elite trader, a legendary trader, and you spend a half an hour a day for the next year, think about how far ahead of the pack you will be. Think about how you will prime yourself for the next bull run, how you will be able to exponentially increase your trading account. These are all so important. All it comes down to is consistency and having a certain resilience of mind so that when we do have a downturn, when there is a black swan event, when we do see the next bear market, you're able to take it in stride. And this is where the meditation really comes in, the mindfulness practices, whatever you do to really calm down that is healthy and sustainable, not drinking and smoking, not cursing people on crypto Twitter, okay? That's what many traders do. Maybe they're successful, some of them, as far as making money is concerned, but are they happy? Are they really fulfilled? Are they healthy in their bodies? And how will this impact their clarity of mind in the future? So instead, go for a run, go out dancing or surfing or whatever it is that you like to do to help to keep your mind in check. Have that balance. There's always a balance. You can't spend all day, every day staring at charts and studying courses. You're going to eventually burn out. Maybe you do it for a few days at a time, but then you take some time off to allow the information to assimilate. So it's all about efficiency of information intake. It's about taking in as much as you can, filtering out what's really not important, and really honing it in on what really works for you, what really works with your lifestyle and in the way that your attitude. So like many people are not meant to be scalpers. They're not meant to be day traders. They're more meant to be either swing traders or to have long positional holds at critical times. And so the more you learn about this, whether or not you're convinced you're going to be a trader, even if you're just thinking, I may just be an investor, that's great. You'll still be able to apply all of these principles to investing, and you'll be able to get into, say, Shiba Inu, which for me personally, I won't be investing in that, but maybe it's Matic or maybe it's Ethereum at the perfect time right before that parabolic rise. And so always remember, smart money is front running all of the moves. Smart money, you want to try to follow them like a barnacle on a whale. You want to be as close to their movements as possible so that maybe one day you're able to influence them. You never know, it might come. So I want to again thank my sponsor Skillshare. If you are serious about trading, you should definitely check out MEXC Exchange. For me, as a US resident, I'm so relieved to be able to trade futures without restrictions on MEXC. I do have a referral link down below. And if you sign up, you can also join my C3 group for free, where I am currently sharing all of my trades, which I will not do forever. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. Have a beautiful rest of your day.